While in comments seen as verging on the lines of climate denial, Sultan Al Jaber, who is the current president of the UN COP28 climate summit, has claimed there is no scientific evidence that phasing out fossil fuels will restrict global warming. Speaking at an online climate event, Jaber made a pitch for fossil fuels, going a step further to say that a phase out would only put the world back in the caves. Listen in to what he had to say.
And there is no science out there or no scenario out there that says that the phase out of fossil fuel is what's going to achieve 1.5. 1.5 is my North Star. Please help me, show me a roadmap for a phase out of fossil fuel that will allow for sustainable socio-economic development, unless you want to take the world back into caves.
Al Jaber's comments have attracted widespread criticism. Scientists have called them incredibly concerning. Fossil fuel is the most contentious issue that world leaders are debating every climate summit and grappling hard on how and who should cut down fossil fuels. On Friday itself, at the COP28 summit, Guterres emphasized the need of phasing out fossil fuels. Listen in.
The 1.5-degree limit is only possible if we ultimately stop burning all fossil fuels. Not reduce, not abate, phase out with a clear time frame aligned with 1.5 degrees. So allow me to have a message for fossil fuel company leaders. Your old world is rapidly aging. Do not double down on an obsolete business model. Lead the transition to renewables using the resources you have available.
Now, Guterres had a very strong message for fossil fuel companies. Sultan Al Jaber also happens to be one of them. Jaber is not only UAE's climate envoy, he is also the head of the state-owned Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, or ADNOC. Yes, the leader of an oil company was chosen to preside over the Global Climate Summit. It's ironic, to say the least. That's not all. Leaked briefing documents showed that UAE planned to use climate meetings for its own benefits to promote deals for its national oil and gas companies. Al Jaber, however, has denied these claims. He has even denied his own remarks.
Let me say from the outset that everything this presidency has been working on, continues to work on, is focused on and centered around the science. And I have repeatedly said in many occasions and in many different platforms that it is the science that have guided the principles of our strategy as COP28 presidency.
Earlier in the year, Al Jaber's team was accused of trying to greenwash his image by allegedly editing Wikipedia pages. The team reportedly tried to hype Al Jaber's role in the climate action. This quote was set to be added to Al Jaber and the Climate Summit's Wikipedia pages. Sultan Al Jaber is precisely the kind of ally the climate movement needs. The team reportedly also suggested that editors remove references to a multi-billion-dollar oil pipeline deal he signed in 2019. You see, Al Jaber's record has been spotty. At COP28, he tried to highlight the role of oil companies in climate action. He said that this year's presidency made a bold choice to proactively engage with oil and gas companies. But is that really what we need right now? UAE is receiving flack for its carbon emissions. While the entire world's emissions rose by 1.5% last year, UAE's greenhouse gas emissions rose by 7.5%. This is according to an independent group, Climate Trace, which monitors greenhouse gas emissions. And what are the world leaders doing about it? At COP28, 118 governments pledged to triple the world's renewable energy capacity by 2030 to cut down the use of fossil fuels. That draft has also called for the phase down of unabated coal power. It still needs to reach a consensus And will this be enough? That's the question. 2023 has been a year of wars. World leaders have been distracted by what's happening in Gaza and in Ukraine. The Chinese President Xi Jinping and the US President Joe Biden have both skipped the summit. So the question is, has the fight to rein in global warming taken a backseat?